So the topic of my research paper was how circumpolar people survive the Arctic. And so I looked at the physiological and the cultural and the metabolic adaptations, but I wanted to kind of center it around human hibernation because that was always kind of the goal. So I set a lot of the Arctic as kind of a background for why human hibernation would be an important innovation that would help them in the future. Human hibernation is just having people be in deep sleep so that they can survive kind of long space travel, or they can survive chronic illnesses. I'd say before this project, I knew human hibernation from movies like sci-fi, cryotherapies, but I didn't know it was an actual viable option until I did more research and discovered that there are a lot of innovations and studies being done that are showing that it's actually possible. There wasn't that much research on human hibernation in terms of kind of the historical perspective on Neanderthals, and even the more modern perspective on circumpolar people. For the most part, I tried to kind of incorporate the Arctic populations since it's very relevant to their survival, because if they can't make enough heat, or if they can't make enough energy to make heat, then they'll end up dying. And so they really need kind of new forms, and human hibernation could potentially be that really viable option in the future for them. Culturally, Neanderthals, they didn't really know how to use fire, or they didn't use fire as much, and their clothing wasn't as adaptive as it should have been, and that's kind of one of the reasons why they became extinct. Inuits today, or circumpolar people today, they're a lot more accustomed, and they're able to kind of build clothing that actually kind of works for the cold. I've never done research before, and I know UC Davis is a very kind of research-heavy institution, and so I kind of got to kind of dip my fingers in that area and get a lot of that research experience and get a paper published, and that actually used a lot of resources and is actually helpful for future scholarship in literature. For the Lang Prize, the money will matter a lot since I'm going to apply to med school, and so I needed to apply for the MCAT and do all this traveling for interviews, but also kind of it increased my confidence as a writer. It was a lot of work, but I do feel like it was very rewarding, and so it was a good experience to have.